here celebrating last night's 96th Academy Awards. We've covered some of the show's big moments, but there is still so much to discuss.
Y'all are trouble this morning.
Yeah.
Here to catch us up on what we need to know from last night is comedian Roy Wood Jr. and our very own Mike Muse and Kelly L. Carter. Welcome back to all of you.
I blame you even for the trouble.
I am not the trouble. I am
the one
just
that
the
looks like the
traffic
quiet
cop.
one, right?
The one that looks innocent.
We're going to deflect now. Roy, let's go to you. Let's talk about Jimmy Kimmel. What did you think of the hosting?
Superb. Also, people forget that, like, when a host has a relationship with the people in the audience that he's roasting, he can do jokes that no other host can do. Literally, only Jimmy Kimmel can, like, just straight look Robert Downey Jr. in the face and go, yeah, you was on them drugs, but, man, you turned it around.
Yeah.
And then called out, was it De Niro or Pacino? Because Pacino just had a baby. And said, Al Pacino just hired a babysitter and was able to show up tonight. Like, only Jimmy Kimmel. It was edgy. It was funny. You know, Trump said what he said online in the middle of the show, and then Jimmy called an audible, which is hats off to the writers and everybody that are able to pivot on the fly and write literally new material on the spot. So, you know, that was dope to see him take a shot at Trump, too.
And that's what we love about, you know, live TV. Anything can happen. And with it said, it was without politics. You know, it wasn't without politics. You know, he was weighing in on Trump and responded to him.
Absolutely.
In real time.
In real time. At the press conference, Wendy said that the producer, Jimmy Kimmel, is best in spontaneity, and he's best being in an uncomfortable moment. But we saw at this year's Oscars a lot of political conversation. You saw a zone of interest. They leaned into the Israel-Gaza conflict. In the In Memoriam, you saw Alexander Navalny, his picture and his image, his video come up first. You saw the filmmakers of 20 Days in Mariupol, where the filmmaker said, I wish I'd never had to have made this film about the conflict that we see in Ukraine. And you saw Jimmy Kimmel do the piece that Roy just talked about. So this is a very politically, I feel, charged Oscars in ways that we hadn't seen
in
before.
a really long time.
You know, It came up very organically, too.
It did. You know, I think for a number of years we've been so accustomed to having that expectation of these Oscars and award shows being places where people can really kind of talk about their politics from the stage. And we hadn't seen that in a while until last night. And I don't think any of us were shocked by what we kind of heard last night,
But isn't it a fine line to, you know, sort of straddle? I mean, and we live in the days now where it's the whole cancel culture, you know, moments of whatever. Don't you have to be careful when you respond to stuff like that? I mean, Trump has a ton of followers. We know that. Loyal followers.
Yeah.
I think Hollywood's about living your truth.
Yeah.
And I think even in an indirect politics way, we saw policy with our previous guest, Chris Bowers, here, talking about the song, really advocating for public schools to give funding for music programs. As a fellow band geek, that made me smile, right? And I'm hoping other school districts and school budgets will really unleash the budget and really focus on the arts and put the arts back into our education. It's so neat.
We also have to primarily talk about how this is also a very safe room, too. You know, a room like what was at last night at the Dolbys, where you can talk about politics in a way that perhaps you can't talk about at any other job. You know, this is a place where it's a pretty progressive group of people. So you're a little bit more comfortable, I think, to talk about some shared politic experiences on that stage.
We only have a very limited time, but the speeches, weren't the speeches so great? What's your favorite speech, real quickly?
Cord Jefferson repping for independent filmmakers and lobbying for there to be more lower budgeted movies to give more filmmakers opportunities.
Cord and Davine, I love both of their speeches.
Cord, Davine, and Chris.
All right, well, we love it. Roy, Kelly, Mike, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.